Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have come to a place which you all know about, the capital city of Goa, Panjim. Ladies and gentlemen, on 22nd of March 1843, this place was given the status of being a city, and it was called as Cidade de Nova Goa. And as time went by, it has developed into such a wonderful city that we all know as Panjim, earlier known as Panjim. And I am standing here on this road, which we see down here, called as the Swami Vivekananda Road. Why it has been named so? The reason is that the building that you see behind me, the colored building that you see, is the Junta House, and on the top floor of this there is a hall which is called as the Swami Vivekananda Hall. And Swami Vivekananda was in Goa about 150 plus years ago, and in honor of him, this road, which connects right down to the Dayanand Bandodkar mark along the river Mandovi, has been named so, and it's amazingly rich in heritage. Now when I say rich in heritage, you will ask me why. Panjim is the only city in Goa where we have got grid pattern roads. All roads are either north-south or they are east-west. This one is facing north-south. That is the north end, and I have come here to bring you something that is there at the south end. Now when I say I have brought you over here, how have I brought you? Along this road of Swami Vivekananda, and then there is one more road that comes down here from a place called as Altino, the hillock, which originally was called as Oiter de Conceição, or the Conception Hillock, or the Hill of Conception, after the Church of Immaculate Conception here. And both these roads, they meet over here and they take you to a place called as Boca Da Vaca. Boca Da Vaca is one of the springs around which this entire area has developed. What is Boca Da Vaca? What is the name of it? You will have to come here or wait till I tell you what this Boca Da Vaca is. But here, this spring is very next to the Sai Sansthan temple, which is over here. Initially, it was a small little shrine. It was a small little shrine behind the spring, and now it has developed into one of a beautiful temple of Panjim. You can see its board over here, and as we go in, we will see a lot more things about what has been done up to beautify this. But there was a time that I used to come here, and this place was a literal junkyard. I will use that word because there were bushes that were growing, and the only beautiful thing or a mysterious thing that was here was the fresh water that was falling out from here. But today when I come here, the Goa Tourism Development Corporation has spent a lot of money, efforts, and a thought that has gone behind developing this place into such a lovely precinct. They have got benches where you can come and you can sit down in the evening, you can interact. The most important day that you find this place full is Thursday, because that is the day of the temple of Sai Baba. This was one of the lifelines of a spring that flows out of the Conceição Hill or the Altino Hill, known as Boca Da Vaca. So now on the board you will have read Gomukh Tirtha Kshetra. Gomukh means a mouth of a cow. And here on top you will find that it has been written Boca Da Vaca. What is Boca Da Vaca? Boca means mouth. Vaca means cow. It is the mouth of a cow. And why did they give this particular name, or why is this particular spring called as Boca Da Vaca? Simple. There was a time when the water that was collected over here flowed out from the mouth of a cow head carved out in granite. You can see it over here on either side. What is the basic history of this spring, Boca Da Vaca spring? Panjim has got two springs. One is Fonte Phoenix, after which Fontainus has been named, and this is the other one on the other side of the hill. Both of them are behind one another. Initially, when they started developing Panjim in the 17th century, they started developing these springs over here. What they initially called this spring was Fonte Cabeça da Vaca. In other words, spring of the head of the cow. They did not realize that the water was flowing out of the mouth, and they could also name it. Maybe sometime later they realized that, and they named this particular spring as Boca Da Vaca spring. The records of in a book by Dr. Celsa Pinto says that somewhere around 1800s they spent about 8,78,000 plus seraphim. Seraphim was like the rupee of today, to develop this. Then in 1863 we had this gentleman called as Antonio Lopes Mendes. I must thank this gentleman Antonio Lopes Mendes because he left two books. They are called as A India Portuguesa, volume 1 and volume 2. And on volume 1, on page 109, he has sketched what this spring looked like at that particular time. And ladies and gentlemen, you will be surprised to know that the front wall of this was not there. It was just a huge arc, and this head of the cow, carved out in granite, was affixed to the spring right at the back. Now when I say right at the back, you will want to know what this right at the back is. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it is accessible through two tunnels. Yes, tunnels. They have been done up so beautifully that you must come over here. Find half an hour's time. You will not believe, ladies and gentlemen, that when I said that I am going to come here to do a shoot of Boca Da Vaca, one of my friend, Mr. Krishnakant Kamath, immediately volunteered to join me to see this. Now, this is what I call love of the heritage of Goa. I'm sure he is going to accompany us inside. But before that, let me tell you, and I'm sure it is true, that the waters of this spring are medicinal. What medicine, how medicine, I don't know. But please come, follow me. So when you come to this Boca Da Vaca precinct over here, there is a route from the left-hand side. You come walking up, and then you come face to face with a small door over here. And this is the entrance into the Boca Da Vaca tunnels. Let's go in and see what happens just below here. I am inside the tunnels, inside the Boca Da Vaca fountain. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see I'm standing here without getting my feet wet. But they expect that you take off your shoes or your slippers because this glass gets scratched. And this is a thick glass, and below that is water which is coming down the tunnels. And this area, basically, the water would remain here, and all the dust particles inside would settle down, and the additional water would flow out. Today, in the month of April and May, you find that it's nice and pleasant over here. But once the rains start, you cannot come here because the water level rises quite high. The spring waters give out a lot of water from inside. So, ladies and gentlemen, having come over here, right now I am standing on the glass, but exactly above me there is an air vent. Always remember one thing, that when you come into any tunnels, there is always a possibility of carbon monoxide, poisonous gases. And when they constructed such tunnels, whether they were long or they were not, they always kept places like this for the air vents, for the poisonous gases to go out. So now you come down, walk with me in the tunnels, but before that, see how the water would get collected and from where the water will go out. Come down. At the end of the first tunnel, towards Panjim side, the city side, not the hillside, you can see this square over here. Now this is the place where all the mud, whatever the particles were, would remain over here. It had airing vent. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. When the water level was low, the water would flow out from here. And during the monsoons, when the water level was very high, it would go through here, which is halfway between the lower to the upper point, and then if there was too much of water, then it would flow out from here. Just look how beautiful they use their logic to cater to every vent of water which would flow out throughout the year. Very, very important, even in your homes. And here a message goes for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. They say that the Third World War may start because of water. Today we are talking of water. We have come to the source of the water. But ladies and gentlemen, if you and me do not be a little careful about wastage of water, we are bound to head to a time when we will have no water. You have seen such incidents all over the world, what lapse of water can do. We still have the time. Please do not waste water. At every stage, they created storage. They created percolating of water, good water to the people, because it is water that sustains civilizations. We forget that, we can forget living a healthy life. My Goem and my team brings this message to all of you. Please take care of water. where the water would remain and the mud would settle down here. GTDC has done a good job. Initially, it was the corporation of the city of Panjim, but now the GTDC have done a beautiful job, and they have put the history of this spring over here. Now, as I am standing here, I can see another tunnel to my right. And this particular tunnel leads us to somewhere else. But I'm going to tell you something of a legend or a story as I come there. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the two tunnels. One is here, where the water exits out, and one over here. Now, at the end of this first tunnel, where the second tunnel also meets, there are steps over here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 steps over here. So I'm going to climb these 12 steps and go up to see the spring. Let us take a little time off to appreciate those builders of those times. Now, when they knew that there was a spring up there, they did not allow the water to just flow out. They created a channel through which the fresh water would be flowing down into these compartments. These are made out of granite, and I will just show you. The water is very, very cool, and it's been flowing beautifully. I think I require this. It's cool. And they say it's medicinal. And this particular water, the source of this water, let's go up. Here, I hope he is for good luck. But, ladies and gentlemen, the first spring of Boca Da Vaca is at the end of this tunnel. You can see the water coming out here and flowing over here. It's really hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cool my legs over here. Amazing. As I'm standing here, this is inside the complex of the tunnel. From a sketch made by Antonio Lopes Mendes, it was somewhere a little here, that there was the mouth of the cow, and the tunnel, which was bigger, extended further, and from there you could see the mouth. Or maybe later on they extended it further and they took that mouth and fitted it outside. But in this place from where the spring flows, I'm going to show you how this place looks like from outside, how it comes from the mountainside through here and then flows out over here. So now let us go into the next tunnel. Let us enter the next tunnel. See how beautiful this tunnel looks like. It's a out of the exit door. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we were inside, we saw big holes up there. How do they look from outside? Let us see the airing vents. You can see the airing vents here. 1, 2, 3, and one is at the end behind. When we came here, I introduced you to one of my friend, Mr. Krishnakant Babu Kamath, who is into this vintage cars and rallies, and he is passionate about it. And he came with us to see this tunnel inside. Let us find out from him what was his experience.
Sanjeev, thank you. It was actually a good opportunity for us to see this place. In fact, staying in Panjim, we had always seen it from out, but we never knew actually there was something called a tunnel which was there. But believe me, whatever I saw today, it's extremely very good. It can be a very good tourism place where people from entire world can come and actually see how you have the place which is like done up and how beautifully the tunnel has been done. How we have the springs which are actually coming out. The most important, we must have seen a well or anything, but we have never seen a spring which is actually coming out. So it's a live thing where people would come, see this place and really enjoy the Goan hospitality.
This encapsulation of words by my friend over here conveys, I'm sure, to you that your visit is a definite need. Don't let all these heritage sites just go by the face look. Walk to them, talk to them, because they say history talks, heritage walks. Walk this heritage. It's yours. Possibly after some time, these springs also may dry up. You will not be able to see it. And a message: save water. Now I have come on top above the spring, and this is the airing vent. From here, this is what we saw upward, where it is opening out, where all the bad air comes out. Here, behind you can see the top of the spring, and behind that was a very old, not a very old, but a very old Sai Baba shrine. Today, ladies and gentlemen, this Sai Baba shrine has become into a massive, beautiful temple of Sai Baba, a man who has been known to do a lot of good for the people and brought a lot of change of heart for many people. Now, here you can see this long elongated part. This is where we walked in the tunnel. This is the place where we walked up on the platform. And ladies and gentlemen, what you see there behind is the hill of Conceição Altino Hill, and that first spring that we saw in a small niche, elongated niche, is in that particular hill. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the Boca Da Vaca spring, inside out, just for you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything to tell us, I'm sure that there is quite a lot of things around you. Like for example, here when we were walking around, we saw a lot of granite stones that were carved and showed some type of a design. If you have something, if you have a story to tell us, please write to us on the email that you see over here. We love to hear from you. My cameraman, the Prudent team, and My Goem takes pains to get all these things for you. It would really help and be very satisfying just to hear a word from you telling us that you like it, you don't like it, or this is the change that you would like to see in us. So, for this Boca Da Vaca episode, signing off.